Hi everybody, it's Honest John. Conservatives love to talk about tort reform. Tort reform will fix the economy and save the healthcare system. We have to cap awards and limit people's ability to sue. Well, let me tell you something. They're full of shit. Tort reform is a fraud. Its purpose is to protect the rich and the corporations and screw over the rest of us. Now, I'll admit, frivolous and sometimes fraudulent lawsuits do happen. And judges must be more willing to grant summary judgment in these cases. But let's talk about capping awards. Now, sometimes these multi-million-dollar awards seem pretty generous. But let's say a factory puts some shit into the air or the water that gives you cancer or some other condition, and you're going to need medical care for the rest of your life, and you're also going to be hurting. You should get a real decent amount of money just to compensate for the fact that you're going to be hurting for the rest of your life. And your medical expenses are going to mount up real quickly. So a large award is necessary. Let's say you're a victim of police misconduct. Well, you should get a big award, not just because of what happened to you. Because it's not just the physical injuries. It's also the fact that this was done under color of authority and that you were helpless while it was happening to you. So you should be compensated for that. Plus, it's an incentive for police departments to clean up their act. The whole idea of tort reform is to discourage lawyers from taking your case and you from pursuing it. During the healthcare debate, the Republicans constantly talked about tort reform. But when the research was done and the statistics were added up, it turned out that tort reform would not do anything to lower healthcare costs. And even though tort reform advocates love to point out instances of frivolous lawsuits, the actual number of these lawsuits is pretty low, and it's really not worth surrendering our constitutional right to remedy wrongs done to us because there are a few assholes that abuse it. Yes, the 7th Amendment of the Constitution ensures our right to sue if we are wrong. Should we give up the right to free speech because some idiots say stupid, hateful things? Should we ban guns because they're sometimes used in crimes? Unless you believe those things, you shouldn't believe in tort reform. The people who advocate for tort reform are the same ones who stand in the way of making the rich pay their fair share. They're the same people who refuse to get rid of corporate welfare and loopholes and subsidies that are so wasteful and costing us so much money. So the next time you hear a politician talking about tort reform, you'll know he's just shilling for the rich. The right to sue is your constitutional right. And don't pay any attention to these so-called defenders of the Constitution who want to take that right away from you. Thanks for listening.